Hi and welcome. We're going to do a special class today per request. That is a hands-free yoga class. We're going to spend a little time giving our hands and wrists a little extra love, and for the most part we're just going to stay off of them. Now certainly there might be times like when we're pressing up to stand, you need to use them a little, but we're not going to do any chaturangas, no hands-based inversions, nothing like that today. We're going to keep it on our feet or on our seat, maybe on our bellies too, but staying off the hands. This is a great option if your hands are sore, if your wrists are sore, for any reason, or if you just want to kind of challenge yourself to practice yoga a little bit differently. So let's get started. Go ahead and lie on your back. And as always, we will use this chance to check in. Close your eyes. Just notice the breath, the sensations of each inhale and each exhale. As you breathe in, notice how far the breath is going into the torso. And as you breathe out, notice the softening. Take a moment to check in with how you're feeling right now, emotionally, physically. And after you've had a chance to check in, start to deepen your breath. And if you haven't already, switch your breath so you're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Being curious about the space between our breath in and breath out. Just kind of noticing if that's a short little space or maybe there's a little bit more time there. And continuing with a deepening of the breath in and out of the nose. When your mind shifts to thoughts, as it's naturally going to do throughout your practice, just notice and bring your attention back to the breath, back to the pose, back to the present moment. So on your backs, go ahead and hug your left knee into the chest and circle out your foot. And go ahead and switch sides. And go ahead and reach both feet up to the ceiling. You can keep a nice strong bend. And we're going to play kind of a silly little game with our hands and feet. We're going to flex everything and point. So it's like there's a real like kitty cat kind of vibe going on here. So flex everything, bending, flexing, and bending. Kind of noticing what the hands and the feet have in common and what's really different, right? So I can bend my fingertips all the way back this other way. My toes can't really do that. Maybe just expanding the range of motion a little bit one more time in this fun little silliness. And release. Pull the belly button into the spine, tuck the hips so that your low back is pressing into the mat. And we're going to start just by lifting one leg up and setting it down, and then the other leg. So the key we're looking for here is to keep our low back pressed into the mat the whole time. And nice steady breath here in and out of the nose. Notice if you're starting to put some tension in the shoulders, try to keep that nice and soft. So go ahead and do that one more time, each leg. And then from here, we're going to try to challenge that range of motion a little bit more. You can always come back to this if that is what serves you best today. So go ahead and press your low back in. If you want to try to regroup, you can just come back, press your low back in, bring your legs up to tabletop. So you might just hold here too. That's a great option. Otherwise, alternating, tapping feet down to the mat. So again, keeping your low back pressed in, you'll start to feel some warmth and some effort here. Again, notice what's happening in the shoulders. Keep them nice and soft and relaxed. Press your hands in if you need a little bit of a shift from tensing in the shoulders to, again, just gently in the hands. We're not putting much weight in them. Just a little bit of awareness. Just do that one more time each leg. And then go ahead and hug the knees into the chest. Moving hip bridge, placing feet hip width apart on the mat. As you inhale, press your hips up. As you exhale, soften down. So moving through a few times on your own, option to bring your arms overhead. Keep the breath smooth. And find the fluidity of this movement. So no start, no stop. It just keeps moving. So inhale all the way up. Exhale, soften down. A couple more times. Let's just do it one more time. And from here, let's go ahead and bring your knees in. We're going to rotate over to the left, bringing your arms together. You can open and close your arms like a book, or you can make a big half circle above you for a supine twist with arm circle. Half or full. I like half circles. Keeping your fingers touching the floor the whole time. Let's go ahead and stay open here in a supine twist, breathing into any places of tightness or tension. Take a deep breath in. And go ahead and come back to the center. Let's do the second side. So bring your knees to the other side, and again, stack the left on top of the right hand, and then open up. And you can half circle or keep that open and closed like a book, your choice. This time we're going to stay in that open position, breathing into any tightness or tension. And then come back to the center. So we're going to add on to that range of motion we did earlier where we brought our leg up or maybe in that tabletop. So the next level and your next option is bringing your toes to the ceiling and doing the same thing with a long leg. Again, you can come back to either of the two previous variations if that's better for you. Pressing the low back into the mat, drop one leg down and bring it up. Drop the other. Just for fun, let's play around with our feet a little bit. Flex the feet this time. Bring it up. Again, low back presses in. Keep breathing in and out of the nose. Point the feet. Just notice the difference. This is a lot about awareness. One more time, flexing the feet. Getting a little stretch there in the hamstring is an added bonus. Hug the knees into the chest. Roll to either your right or left side, and let's meet in a seated position. So because we're staying off of our wrists, we're not going to do cat-cow as we might normally do. So let's do it seated. I'm going to show you from the side, keeping the shoulders over the hips. Keep them there, rounding the back, and finally let the head fall. Seated cat. From here, lengthen the spine, open up the chest, pull the shoulder blades gently towards one another, lengthen the front of the throat. Cow. So move through those two on your own. Keeping the same normal breath pattern. So we're going to exhale as we do cat. Inhale for cow. Explore your range of motion here. Feel free to add on any little movements that you'd like, or keep it nice and simple here with cat-cow. Coming to a nice tall spine. Really gently, again, we're not putting much weight in the hand, we're just reaching up and over, getting a stretch in the right side body. Reach the right fingers, ground the right sits bone. Come back to the center, second side, again, just a little bit of weight on the right hand. One more time each way, again, really grounding to reach up and out. Nice side body stretch. Back to the center, second side. And stretch from here, rolling out the shoulders. And we're going to bring right ear to right shoulder. Lift the left ear up to the sky. Option to flex the left hand for even more. Stretch in the neck. Second side, left ear to left shoulder. Reach the right ear up to the sky. Option to flex the right hand. Keep that going. So right ear, right shoulder, left ear reaches up, and this time really pull the left hand down towards the ground, getting a bigger stretch. Be gentle but intentional. To the center, second time, last time on this side. And release from here, lift your chin up to the sky. And release, make a big double chin, lengthen the back of the neck. One more time, chin to the sky. Coming back to the center, lengthen the back of the neck, tuck the chin under. And release from here, taking your arms, reach them behind you, grabbing onto your forearms, roll open the shoulders, and just a gentle stretch forward. Come back to sit. Nice and easy, forward and back. Not bouncing it, keeping it a little bit more controlled than that. Nice and easy, opening up the chest. One more time. And release your hands. From here, we're going to come to stand at the back of our mat. So go ahead and bring your feet hip-width distance apart. Roll out the shoulders here. I feel like we cannot do that enough these days. Good for us to do here. And we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Bend your knees when you need to. Grab onto your opposite arm for ragdoll. Sway side to side. Release your hands and roll up. So we're going to do a couple different variations. I invite you to just experiment and play. I'm going to cue you through a couple ideas, but feel free to play around with this on your own. Rolling down again, this time with a twist. So bring the left hand down, right arm up. Circle out the wrist on top. Bring your right hand down, roll up. We'll do that on the other side. So rolling down, right hand down, left arm up, roll out the wrist. Left hand down and up. This time opening up the chest. So just as we did earlier, grabbing onto your forearms, or if it's accessible to you, clasping your hands, folding forward. A little bit of roll down, a little bit of forward fold, kind of a combination. Let the head hang. Reach your knuckles to the sky, crown of the head towards the ground. Pull the belly button up and in. Release your hands and roll up the spine. We're going to do a wide-legged chair here, so keeping your feet hip-width apart, sink your hips back, reach your hands up. So really press your feet into the mat, pull the belly up and in, getting a sense of lift even though you're pressing down. So the feet are pressing, but there's also a lift in the arch. And that lift moves through the legs, belly button pulls up and in, heart lifts. Take a deep breath in and fold. Slowly roll up. So we're going to take just a little step forward here. So not our full crescent lunge. We're just going to bend into the front leg and lengthen. Bend and lengthen. Bend and lengthen. So again, warming up, because the crescent lunge can be a really big transition from we were just sitting and being kind of chill, and now we're taking more movements in our legs. So we want to warm that up. And just to keep it nice and simple, we're going to tip our toes forward, and then we're just going to switch to the other side in that same position. Bending and straightening the front leg, keeping it little, keeping it gentle. Real focus on the legs here. And from here, go ahead and rotate your toes to the front and then step all the way to the top of your mat. Bringing your feet together, chair pose. So this time a little bit different chair, squeezing the legs together, getting that same idea of pressing into the feet, but then lifting on the inner arch to get a sense of lift and lightness to this pose. Take a deep breath in, staying in chair, lift your left leg up, step it back, crescent lunge. Here we are. We're going to do a little chest opener, something a little bit different with this today. So reaching your arms out to the side, palms up, just gently pulse back. Opening up through the front of the chest, sink a little bit lower in the legs. Always can go to your knee, of course. And then from here, after we've had a chance to really open up the chest, let's reach the arms up with that openness. Cactusing the arms, same idea, we want to get that openness, maybe gently pulse the elbows back, hands back. And from here, open up warrior two. Really reaching the hands away from one another. Lots of space in the chest, lots of space in the back. Pull the belly button up and in. Squeeze the legs like you're trying to pull your feet towards one another, but they don't move. Reverse triangle, lengthen the front leg, reach up and back. Back to that warrior two. Just a real gentle side angle. So bringing your forearm to your leg, sink the hips low, look up to your top hand. Really press into the back edge of the back foot, lifting up on the inner arch. Take a deep breath in, warrior two. And from here, we're going to toe heel our feet together and step to the top of the mat. Chair pose. Take a moment here to find stillness and strength. Strong position, pressing into all parts of each foot, lifting on the inner arch. Squeeze the legs together. Take a deep breath in. Lift your right leg, step it back, crescent lunge. So we did a little pulsing here when our arms are out to the side. Let's bring our arms low, rotate so the palms are out, thumbs back, and again, gently pulse back. Left leg forward, right leg back. Pull the belly in, lots of length in the spine. Tailbone tucks under ever so gently to create length. And from here, reach the arms up with that nice open chest. Cactus the arms, maybe open up again a little bit here. I'm already noticing a bit more openness in my chest. Maybe you're noticing that too. Woo! Take a deep breath in. Open up warrior two. So here in your warrior two, again, thinking of, maybe this time think of pulling the mat apart. So it can help to kind of experiment with whatever helps you fire up the legs to stay strong. Reach the fingertips away from one another. Wide through the front and the back. Sink the hips down. Reverse triangle, reach up and back. Stretching through the left side body. Back to warrior two. From here, side angle. Again, just using your forearm. Sink the hips low, reach up high with the right hand, look up to your right hand. Take a full breath in through the nose. A complete breath out through the nose. Rise back up to warrior two, and here toe heel your feet together. Step to the top of your mat. Let's reach up mountain. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slowly roll up your spine. Coming back to mountain. From here, keeping your right foot forward, we're going to step back with the left foot again. You can always go to your left knee. We're going to do a little twist here in our crescent lunge. So reaching the arms up, nice strong position. Hands can come through heart center or left hand to the ground. Twist, twisting over the front leg. So again, quick tip is if you look down and you see your leg, you're twisting the right way. If you see open space or your mat, probably twisting the opposite way we want to be twisting. Sink the hips low. Option to open your arms to fly, add a bind, whatever makes you happy here. Full breath in. Twist a little deeper as you exhale. And then come back up. Crescent lunge. Opening up to warrior two again. Nice strong position. Again, getting really strong in the legs. So thinking about either pulling the mat together or apart, whatever helps you fire up your legs. Reverse warrior. Let's go into a little bit deeper side angle this time. So maybe you stay here, maybe you reach down. No weight on the hand, it's just a gentle touch. Breathe deeply. From here, rise up. Tip all of your toes towards the same direction. Hands on your hips, lift your heart and fold. Now from here, your hands can stay on your hips or come to the ground. Let your head hang. Deep breaths. If it's easy for you to bring your hands to the ground, maybe grab onto your big toes. Bring your hands to your hips and rise up. Toe heel your feet to the top of the mat. I'm going to go to the opposite side just so I can meet you and look at the camera at the same time. But you can go ahead and go to the top of your mat. From here, mountain pose. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And slowly roll up the spine. Mountain pose. From here, the right leg steps back. Do this on the second side. So we're going to start with our crescent lunge. You can go to your back knee if you'd like. Moving into a twist. Nice strong foundation. Hands through heart center. Twist towards the left. So again, make sure you peek down. Hey, left leg. Nice to see you. Opening up. If you'd like, again, always optional. Strong body here. The legs are strong. The belly button pulls in. The arms are engaged and reaching. Lots of good stuff happening. Strengthening and stretching the body all at once. All while taking deep breaths. From here, opening up into your crescent lunge right away into warrior two. Nice strong warrior two. Again, the legs are strong. Belly pulls into spine. Reverse warrior side angle. So starting nice and small, maybe reaching down to the ground if that's uncomfortable or you notice you're folding at the waist. Great place for a block or a box, something that will hold you, or just stay with your arm on your thigh, your choice. Sink the hips low and breathe. Lift up on the inner arch of the back foot. Breathe in and out. One more time in. One more time out. Rising up to warrior two. This time we're going to tip all of our toes to the front, and then we're going to bring our heels in. Coming to goddess pose. Long spine. Squeeze the glutes to really support this pose. Reach up, star. Hands to heart center, sink down, goddess. So again, think of engaging your glutes almost like you're squeezing them towards one another to provide support. Inhale, star, sinking a little lower each time. And inhale, star. Last time we're going to hang out here in our goddess pose. And I invite you to lift one heel. Set it down. Lift the other. And play around with this. Maybe you try both. I don't know, up to you. Finding a steady breath and a strong position. Really pressing the hands together. Again, playing around with the low body. Take a deep breath in. A complete breath out. And release. Toe heel your feet together. Step to the top of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Slowly roll up the spine. We're going to do some single leg balance. I'm just going to turn to face you, but you can stay right where you're at. So let's start with tree, rotating from the hip and the right leg. Going to any place, you could stay low, middle, or up high, up to you. Slippery leggings make it more challenging, really pressing that leg in. Again, hands to heart center, option to grow your branches. You choose. Challenge yourself to be willing to lose your balance here a little bit. Maybe that's by switching your gaze to look up, or your arms, or maybe challenging your body position. Give yourself something that challenges your balance. Hands to heart center and release. Let's just do second side. We're going to keep all this standing leg balance super simple, just switching back and forth. So left leg up. And again, do a position that challenges you today. I want you to find a place where you can hold and then challenge that balance. And it might be that the whole thing is hard, and that's okay. We breathe through it. We find the steadiness in our breath. Otherwise, purposefully challenge yourself. Breathe. Find steadiness in the breath and steadiness in the mind. Maybe your body will decide to go along for the ride then. Maybe it doesn't. It's all good. Hands to heart center and release. Shake that out. We're going to play around again, a lot of play today in our Warrior 3 position. Now again, we're trying to stay off the wrist, so we're not going to do a true standing splits because that puts some weight in the hands, but we're going to play around with those positions. As a reminder, or if you're new to this practice, you can always work on a crescent lunge with an extended crescent if this balance stuff is not for you today. Otherwise, go ahead and step into your right leg. Really level out the hips. And we're going to just slowly start to bring that left leg up, torso down so they meet at the same height. Now there's a tendency to want to hike that hip, so we really want to keep ourselves accountable to keeping this left hip down. Now from here, see if you can control it down, just gently touching the hands down, lifting the leg up, and then back to that Warrior 3 position. Now if you start to get a little more confident, you can bring your hands to heart center or reach them forward, but I want you to just play around with that a little bit. Challenging yourself. Again, all these balance poses today, I want you to really push the edge of your balance, exploring it, seeing what helps you feel stable and what throws it off. Repeating that as many times as feels okay to you. We're going to take 3 more breaths. And release, shake that out. We're going to do the second side. So again, whatever variation speaks to you, you can always do the crescent lunge extended version, up to you. Otherwise, left foot, keeping the hips really level here. This is a challenge. This might be your challenge today, and you just work on the level hips. Otherwise, folding forward and then coming back up. I always find that more challenging than the lowering down, but you might find it's different, and it might be different each day. It's all good. It's part of being human. Keep breathing. Steady breath. Steady gaze here, especially finding the same spot to look at on your mat. We'll take 3 more breaths. And go ahead and release when you're done. Shake that out. One more standing balance pose. Dancer, starting on the right. If you can grab the inside arch of your foot, do that. Otherwise, go in for the outside. You can always use a strap if you need. Holding something on a little platter. Offer your platter forward. Really challenging your balance here. Pull the belly in. Engage your right glute to provide more support. Feeling the openness in the chest and the openness in your right hip. Full breath in. And exhale, release, second side. We're almost done with our standing leg balance, so stay with it. Pull the belly in. Again, nice strong pose before you start moving. Challenging yourself to find one spot to look at. Steadying your gaze. Steadying the breath. Once you've steadied, feel that sense of openness in the chest and the hip. And set your left foot down and release. From here, reach up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, and we're going to come to a seat. Boat pose. Here we are. Leaning back, lift your heart, and let's experiment like we did earlier. We're going to flex and point and flex and point. Keep your belly pulled in. Keep the breath smooth. And choose either one. You can flex the feet or point them. Lift your heart. Maybe try lifting one leg up and down and the other. Maybe try that again or go for both. We have 2 more breaths here. Lift your heart and release. Shake it out. Legs are long, seated, forward fold, reaching the arms up, hinge at the hips. Nice long spine, so resist the desire to want to go deeper, and by any means necessary, keep your back nice and long. Chin gently tucks. Let your hands fall where they may. Maybe that's your legs, your ankles, or your feet. Use that to gently pull in a little bit more as you exhale, keeping a fairly long back. There can be a little bit of rounding, but we want to really keep an open back. Take 2 more breaths. And rise up and release. I'm going to face you for these other ones so you can see. We're going to start first by bringing your right foot in, sitting up nice and tall. Give your right leg a hug with your left arm. Sitting up real tall here, lengthen your spine, look over your right shoulder. Full breath in, complete breath out. Pressing the left leg down into the mat. Being really aware of your spine. Can you grow it longer here? And as you exhale, can you twist a little more? Go ahead and release. From here, bring your right foot to the inside of your leg. For head to knee, we're going to do a revolved head to knee today. Rotating so that you're facing the right leg. Reach the right arm up and over. So this is to stretch the side body. If you're folding at the front of the waist, see if you can open up a little bit more so that you're getting more of a stretch in the side body and less in the back and hamstring. Go ahead and rise up. Let's do second side. I'm going to show you this one from the side in case that's helpful. So sitting up nice and tall, left leg pulls in. Grab on with the right arm. Look behind you. Press into this right leg, looking over your back shoulder. Take deep breaths here. Inhale to lengthen the spine and exhale to deepen the twist. From here, look forward and release, bringing your left foot to the inside, rotating and reach up and over. So again, this is a stretch for this time the left side body. Really grounding the left sit bone, reach the left hand away from the rest of the body. And from here, go ahead and rise up. We're going to come to a butterfly position or bound angle and pressing the feet together. Go ahead and just flap your little butterfly wings here a few times. And we're going to do this more in depth than when we lie down in a little bit. But I want you to think of really squeezing your glutes together and press your feet together. And then see if that allows a little bit more release. Let's try that again. Squeeze the glutes together, press the feet together. Release that, see if that allows a little bit more range of motion. If it doesn't, that's totally fine. With a long spine, you can fold forward if you want. Otherwise, just continue to hold the position with your crown of your head reaching to the sky. But if it's okay, gentle hinging at the hips, long spine. and go ahead and rise up. We're going to do bridge for a holding bridge next. Come to lie on your back. Feet are hip width apart. From here, take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, press the hips up, pressing into the top part of your arm, pressing in maybe a little bit to your forearms. Not necessary. Again, we're trying to avoid that, so maybe even bringing your hands to this position. Hands can rest on your hips. Take a deep breath in. A complete breath out, soften down. From here, we're going to bring our soles of our feet together, as I mentioned a little bit ago, and we're going to play around a little bit with tensing and releasing to see if we can find a little more openness in our hips. So from here, I want you to press your feet together and squeeze your glutes. You may even squeeze your glutes so much that you can hover your seat off of the mat, just like magic. Take a deep breath in, soften down, see if you can release a little tension in your hips. So we'll do that a few times. Press into your feet, squeeze your glutes. See if you can hover your seat off of the mat. Again, pressing the feet, squeezing the glutes, a little hovering action, and soften down. Release all of that. See what happens in the knees. For me, it feels kind of magical. I don't know. Give it a try one more time. Squeeze and lift. Pressing, pressing, pressing. Notice if tension's in your jaw or shoulders, they can relax. And release. Let it all go. From here, bring your legs together. We're going to do a reclined version of pigeon. Right ankle over the left leg. You can certainly just chill here. This is a great place to be. Otherwise, hug your leg in. You can grab behind the leg or grab the shin. And sometimes a gentle side-to-side rock. Super gentle, super small. Can feel good. Or maybe stillness. Keep the breath flowing in and out of the nose. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So you can set it down, or you can just switch in the air. Again, same thing. Maybe a little sway, or maybe stillness. And go ahead and set that down. We're going to do another little stretch for the hips. Go ahead and bring your legs to the center. Cross your right leg over your left and pull that in. And so depending on your range of motion, you might grab behind your left leg. Otherwise, keeping the integrity between your ankle and knee, I find flexing your foot helps. You can pull these legs in towards your chest here. Let's go ahead and do that on the other side. So bring your feet together. Left leg crosses over, so really squeeze in there. Pull it in. Again, you might just grab onto the right leg. Otherwise, going to your ankles, flex the feet to create length. Pulling the legs in towards your chest. From here, go ahead and release. We're going to do what we did earlier in a supine twist, but a little bit different version. So let's go ahead and pull the right leg in, roll across, and you can find stillness, opening up here, or if you want to do movement, that's available too. If you're in stillness, go ahead and look to your right hand. And slow down the breath. Make your way back to the center and to the second side. Left leg comes up, rolling to the right. So this time looking to your left hand if you'd like. Again, you can add movement, your choice. Rolling onto your back. Give yourself one final squeeze. Maybe bring your forehead up. And from here, lengthen out on your mat. Shavasana, take rest. Flip your hands up so the palms are facing up. Let your legs naturally flop a little bit open. Take a moment to lengthen through the back of the neck. Maybe even feeling like there's a little chin tuck, not dramatic, not one that takes effort, but that can really help stretch out the neck. And then let go of the control of your breath. Let everything soften. Continue to stay curious about your breath, paying a little extra attention to the spaces in between your inhales and exhales. Remember that when you find you're caught up in thoughts, it just makes you human. It's what we do. Just notice and come back to that gentle curiosity about your breath. For your last few breaths in Shavasana, take a nice deep breath in through the nose, sigh it out of the mouth. Again, inhale, let it go. Third time's the charm. Inhale, exhale. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Reach your arms overhead, take a full stretch. Bring your knees into your chest, roll to your left or right side. And when you're ready, coming up to a seat. Bringing your hands to heart center. With tremendous gratitude for you, all of my students. Namaste. What are you grateful for today? I encourage you to take a moment to think about that. Have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you back here sometime soon.